up, B's and G's? Fresh water in the HLT. Also, it's RO water. As some of you all may have seen in a previous video, the RO water is directly on the brew stand. So it's a slow process. It takes about 24 hours to fill 22 gallons. Is that right? 22 gallons. Roughly 80 some odd liters of RO water. It takes about 24 hours. Right. So some of you may have noticed I have the Microsoft Surface on the brew stand, and you might say, "Whoa, Gary, that's pretty wasteful using that for the brew stand." Well, it's not really tied to anything. It's just sort of a convenience factor for me. Just a stand, which I purchased from Amazon. It's fully articulating. It's at this height. It's a little wobbly, as you can see. So when I start tapping on it, it'll move around. Speaking of tap, I don't know how many of you noticed, but I have changed my brewery name a while back to Tap Out Brewing. All right. So the convenience factor is, I'm on my laptop. This is networked to my internal network in the home. I have mapped out this folder to the laptop as a network drive. And then I work on the recipe, and when I'm done with it, I print the recipe to PDF to the network folder here. And then sorry about all that. And then it ends up in this folder, which I've already expanded. And you can see the one I'm brewing today is the Walking Head APA. The ease is that I just have it right here at any given time. I don't have to. Plus I can put the timer on here, which I will. It'll put up a big display here of my time left on boil or whatever. The other thing we're doing today is we're going to try this lapel mic, which plugs into this phone, and that way I can leave the phone on the stand and you're not going to have to be peeling your ears back to hear what I'm saying. I've already did a test on it and it works pretty good. I just don't know how long it's going to last, so that could be the issue. All right, and then I am going to be using, it is a 10-gallon batch, actually 11.5, and today we're going to be whirlpooling with the hop rocket. It's going to be going through the hop rocket, so I'm going to lose some in here. I've been told that this works as a wonderful filter for your beer as well once you pack it full of leaf hops. So we'll be doing that today. Just need that. I can fill it up. Okay, I just did my water chemistry calculations. Sounds like God is bowling up there. 6 mils of lactic acid, 8 grams of gypsum, 20 grams of calcium chloride, and 10 grams of Epsom salt. It's going to give me a chloride to sulfate ratio of 1.15. 1.15 for me is on this brew. I'm looking for a little silkiness on the tongue. Not going for the crisp. If I did, I was going in the other direction. I want something to hold the hops in because this is going to be a hop forward APA. Whew, it's been a while since I brewed. Little rusty. All right, let's get to measuring these out and then we can mash in. And I'll listen to God bowl for a while. Let's get our water profile. Ooh, that's hot. Some of you may have noticed the amount was kind of high for the water profile, but not really, because I'm mixing it in 22 gallons, roughly 80 liters. That's my sparge water as well. So everything is all done at once. One big batch of water profile. Yeah, a lot of grains. Holy fuck. Oh, yes. There's also a new addition in here. I forgot to tell you guys about. It's, hopefully this camera's on. You can see it. It is a sparge, sort of a sparge arm circular thing. I haven't used it yet, but it's from SS Brewtech. So I adapted it to work with the system here. It screws on the top. Okay, let's get this show started, shall we? Holy Greenville, Batman. Whew. All right then. Let's get this started, shall we? Boom shakalaka. Oh wait, hang on. Where was I? 80 liters. Oh great, now I gotta do the math. I'm just counting down the gallons going in at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 so far. I need 10 total. Target is 152 today. No balls. They are so right about this. Mash water ratio there, I think. Nice. So even though it's like 85 degrees, I did put the thermal blanket on it, only because I got the fan going to try to keep my ass cool. And it's a stack here. Alright. See how this bad boy works. Shiza. What did I just do? Okay, stop. I was trying to have a no spill day. Not happening. First fuck up. Okay. Mess cleaned up. Oh, what a tool. Okay. Here we go. That was just being a noob all over again. Okay. The bittering edition is first Wort hop. So that's my mosaic. It shows mosaic. It says tropical fruit, but it does have a blueberry. It's really good in a blueberry ale or blonde ale or blueberry wheat. It's a good hop to use for that. But it's going to be a hop forward pale ale. So I want 1.4 ounces. All right. Get my scaled recipe up. All right. Hopefully the mic is working. Let's go ahead and turn the overhead cam on. Let's take a look here. Oh. That is clear. It's looking mint. It smells good too. All right. We are done with the circ. Let's kill the element, the pump. Let's flip this over. Let's shut these down. Let's switch that to fly sparge. Let's get this up to temp. Back on. All right, I'll let that get up to sparging temp. It's okay for this to rest for a little while. Doesn't hurt. That little, what is it? beauty. That should start clearing the line. Sparge water. Let's give her some. And we want a total volume of 7.55 gallons. I'm at 5.5 now, so all I have to do is come down 7 gallons from the even number of 14 gallons. I'll end up with 7 gallons left for my wine. How about that? All right. Well, I don't know if this camera's capturing that or not, but that's it's a beautiful looking beer. Here, let me bring you guys over if that's not in the frame. It's hot as hell out here, by the way. Which brings me to what I'm going to be doing next. Here, let's take a look. Yeah, you don't need to see my feet. So I'm not going to use the hop screen. I'm just going to dump that bad boy right in there. That's the first Wort hops. And the reason why is I have the Blichmann Hop blocker, but that still isn't perfect. I will be whirlpooling, but I'll be whirlpooling through the hop rocket, which is going to be packed with whole cone hops. So it will be acting as its own filter and should be capturing some of this stuff as it goes through. I've never had any problem with the duodiesel getting clogged with hop tube. I know some of the smaller ones do. This one does not. Second, my well water is coming out at about 80 some odd degrees, so I am not going to be able to get this down to temp. So I got a 20-pound bag of ice. I'm going to repurpose this old kettle, and I am going to clean it. So that's what I'll be doing during the boil, is getting this ready. I will chill down to about 190. And a 180, I think, is the magic number for not blowing off hop oils. Because by the time I push it through the hop rocket, it'll probably be coming out closer to 180 as it's isomerizing the hops that are sitting in the hop rocket. More look. First Wort hops smell amazing. It's going to end up roughly, I don't know if any of you had the Alchemist's Zombie Dust. Great beer, by the way. Zombie Dust is one of my favorite beers for pale ales. That is also a hop forward beer. This is sort of in line with that, but so I'm not big on clones. I always create my own recipes, and then if I don't like them, I don't brew them again. If I feel I can fix them, I'll try to brew them again and tweak them. But I'm trying to build my own recipe list because there may be a point in time where I do open up a small brew house down here, and it's very underserved here for breweries and such, and there's a lot of money here. I think it's an underserved market, and I may just open one up down here, so I will continue to build my recipe list. So I've read some articles that they've done some testing on splashing around the wort again, that whole aeration thing. Turns out that you can oversplash the sparge, you can oversplash what's going in the brew pot, and they say that I don't know, I'd have to reread the article. It was very technical. I think it was in BYO, or I think it's February, March. Yeah. Well, they did some testing, and they pretty much say don't splash around the wort at all, anywhere. Here. The only time they say you can splash around the wort is after it drops to under a certain temperature. Don't quote me on it. I don't really know, but I think it's under 120. And to be honest with you, I don't put much faith in a lot of that stuff. I mean, I think that
You know, a lot of times these people can do these tests and experiments, and then they do the chem analysis, and then they'll say, see, here's the proof. But to me, it's like, is it perceived? Can you tell the difference? If you can't tell the difference, then I don't care. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So any of the processes that I've done here, it's because I can tell the difference. Water profile, obviously, can tell the difference. And in fact, you know, this whole adage that if the water tastes good, it's going to be good beer. It may be good beer for a style, but not for every beer. If you're one of those people that say, oh yeah, I brew a really good IPA, but I can't brew a Pilsner. But my water tastes great. Yeah, no, not so much. The water can taste good, but there may be the wrong mineral contents in your water. Water profile, biggest change is recirculating. That is much better than vorlofting. You can vorloft, you turn blue in the face. It's not the same because you're doing it throughout the mash process. Fermentation chambers. Accurate fermentation temperatures, probably the second biggest thing. When I say that, I mean you have to look at the yeast, and you look at the low range and the high range of that yeast, and that temperature range rather. And you look at what profiles the low end does and what profiles the high end does, and you can do some research on that before you choose them. And if you're looking for a certain profile in the esters, but it's at the low end, then make damn sure you're at the low end. And if you're looking for those esters on the high end, make sure you're on the high end. If you want something balanced, make sure you're fermenting in the middle. If you're looking to middle range a yeast, you'll want to maybe even back it up a degree or two in the first few days, and then bring it slowly up to where your desired temperature, your fermentation temperature is for that particular yeast style and specific esters you're looking for. So that's one of the other big deals. And if you follow those things, you brew good beer. I mean, the rest of it's just recipe creation and you know, utilizing the right hops and when to put them in, and you know, trying to balance the beer. Recipe creations and the grain bill are pretty forgiving for the most part. I know a lot of people go heavy on the crystal malts. I find a lot of beers that I go and taste in the market, in the community rather, seem to be heavy-handed in the caramel malts, and it just makes them sicky sweet. And I know they're trying to make a different beer, but it seems like they're just taking this one base recipe and then they're just upping or lowering the crystal. You know, think outside the box. A lot of people will say, well, you know, some of these grains are so, you know, it's only a couple %. You know, you're not gonna perceive that. You might in a lighter beer, you may not in a stout. So recipe creation is another part of it. You just got to know what you're doing with the grains, and try not to be so heavy-handed with the you know, the specialty grains. You can go lighter with those. If you're looking for a perceived color, you may do something like a splash of Special B or something, just, or Crystal 120, just a little bit of it, or even some black wheat, just to get the color in there that you need. So anyway, that's my rant. Let's see how we're doing. Time for a beer. You're my boy, Blue. Let's see. It's a blueberry wheat ale. All right. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. Well, let's get cracking on it. I get the blueberry in the nose, although it smells like that artificial shit. All right, here we go. Oh, you're not my boy, Blue. Ugh. What the fuck? Who thinks that tastes good? That's artificial blueberry flavoring. See, it's when I have beers like this, I think to myself, dude, you can do this. What is going on with this? Well, I will drink it because it's cold. Oh, by the way, homebrew Tom. Homebrew Tom. Yeah, I think that's your pretentious beer review. Man, I watched, I don't know if you had 3 of them. It was on autoplay. I watched 3 of them. I'm wondering if that's all you had. Hilarious. Keep those going, man. That was funny. Okay, we're at the boil. All right, now it's 55 minutes left in the boil. So far, no other catastrophes. We'll see when I run the hop rocket. My next hop edition isn't until the 15-minute edition. Like I said, it was only first Wort hop mosaic. It was only an ounce, 1.4 ounces, and this is 11 gallons, 11 and a half. By the way, I'm using cryo hops. The only thing I did not use cryo hops on was the mosaic. I've gotten used to pellet hops. Cryo hops, they're the bomb. That beer sucks. All right, 15-minute drop. Let's get the boil cam going. Okay. All right, like I said, I'm just gonna dump that in here. Cryo hops. Make sure I don't pop over. All right. Looking good. Next is the Wort tablets. Probably should have just threw that in with the hops. There we go. Okay. We're getting a little rise here. So normally I have this off by now and clean, but I was working on this. Chill down unit. And it's done. Oh, that really is rising up. Whew. Wow. Smells good. Beer facial. I love the smell of Citra. A minute over shite. There we go. And then I get the minute drop, a minute prior. Or do I? Hang on. Did I do away with that? I may have done away with that. Yeah, I did away with that because I'm doing a 20-minute Whirlpool. So I changed my mind on the hop rocket. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 ounces if I can get it in there. I want to make a better filter. So just push that aside. So those of you who've never used one, this is the inlet, this is the outlet. All right. This is what's inside. That does pull out, of course, but I've already set it down in there. So let's put this back some so you can get some perspective. Let's see, what's that look like? There we go. All right, Sriracha S. Oh, shite. Yeah, it's gonna take 3, I think. Oh, it smells good. Oh, that's gonna be fucking amazing. I'm going for it. Yeah, maybe not the whole thing. Yeah, maybe the whole thing. Just gotta pack it down a little. 3 ounces. Okay. But I like even numbers. Screen pushes it down. Except you need the O-ring first. Oh. Food safe. Grace. O-ring goop. I don't think it says that you need it, but you better get it done and then be sorry it's leaking all over the floor, I guess. All right. Press that bad boy down. Okay. Oh yeah, it's raining again. So it's going through the hop rocket now. Yeah, it's a good Whirlpool. Picking up speed as long as I hold this up. Well, paper towels are my friend today. I'm gonna have to edit this thing down a lot. All right, well, that's whirlpooling down. I'm gonna shut the videos off and get this conical set up. Yeah, that's a drawback for brewing in Florida in the summertime. So this is the repurposed HLT that's now going to be a chill down unit. So the hose comes in here, goes through the coil of a colder bath water, which is going to have ice in it, into the chiller, and then out the discharge hose like normal. The rest of it is as it normally would be, except the hop rocket is in the loop on this particular brew. So out the bottom, through the inlet of the pump, out of the pump, into the hop rocket, out of the hop rocket, into the chiller, out of the chiller, into the tangential port. Okay? Now, I wanted to save this for the last part, the stubborn part of the chill down. And there's one other way to do it, I guess. Let's see if we can knock it down quicker, is to do a brine solution. That works them out. Which is why I put a valve on there. If you were thinking, why did you put a valve on there? That's to bring down some of the water as I add the ice. But the kettle is quite cool. Hi. Alright, now it's time. So I was only able to get it down to 78, 79 degrees. It's as good as it's going to get. I'll let it cool down the rest of the house. Although the yeast I'm using has a 80 degree upper limit. Nice smell. Smells amazing. Magic of editing. Cleaned and put away. The lid I have over here, which is sitting on top of the RO water for the wine, which is going in that bucket next. Conical fermenter is going in the house, and I'll pitch the yeast, which is on the stir plate. This is the next morning. I pitched at around 8 p.m. and I got down to a comfortable temperature, and it's 8 a.m. so it's 12 hours later.